saw him, but just in case, a reminder that we do have my assistant yoga teacher here. He's already made his voice known, so maybe that's all we'll get. Maybe he'll be quiet throughout the rest of the class, but just in case not, I like to point it out. So today we are actually going to get started in a child's pose. So find a child's pose that is right for you, for your body, your mind, your intention today. 3 options: knees all the way closed together, letting your body just drape over your knees. This is really good for a low back release. You can find a slight open sensation with your legs. This just allows for yourself to really connect with gravity. And then option 3 is knees as wide apart as you feel comfortable, and letting your heart drape in between your legs with your hands extended. Nothing super active, nothing totally active about this position right here, right now, but we will be here for about 10 breaths. So find a position that you feel comfortable in, that you can hold for a while, allowing yourself to just drape into this sensation, letting that space right between your eyebrows press down into the mat. With every inhale, you feel the back of your heart space rise, filling up completely. And then every exhale, finding a little bit more ease, a little bit less sensation, and a little bit more connection with your breath. Keeping those big, full, sweet inhales and really relaxing, really satiating exhales throughout here, as you begin to tap into what your intention is for class today. My intention this week has been open-ended. It's been an opportunity more than anything in finding the little opportunities for happiness, finding those little opportunities for joy, for smiling, for enjoying the sensations. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day activities. It's easy to get frustrated or overwhelmed, when really just showing up, really just being there, really allowing yourself to arrive and just find those little opportunities for joy is what I have been seeking out this week. So that is what my intention is focused around. So finding something, one thing, it doesn't have to be the perfect answer. It's just the first thing that pops into your mind. What is that thing that brings you happiness that we can focus in on and find a little bit of joy as we flow and move through class today? And let's give that thing, or multiple things if you had rapid fire, all of those joyful things as happiness. One final big breath here in our child pose. Open mouth exhale with a smile. Now staying in child pose, staying in the variation you're in, let your palms come together. Thumbs will be pointing up, kind of a prayer position right over your head. Inhale, extend through your fingers. And then as you exhale, let your hands arrive back behind the nape of your neck. So a lot of times when I do this, I call this Australian Namaste, where our hands are upside down in the retrospect to our body, but allowing ourselves to really find a little bit of a tricep opener, maybe even going down into your armpits, into those side bodies, those wings. As you inhale, expand through those wings, feeling that joy, feeling that happiness fill up. And exhale, find a little bit more gravity as you open through those muscles. Moving really sweetly, really gently with intention, release those hands back down to the mat and let them arrive underneath your shoulders as you press up into our tabletop position. Par for the course. Begin to waken up that body as you find some splashy movements. Maybe you're shaking your head, yes, shaking your head, no, wagging your tail, curling through your spine, even some really big movements. Shake your head, yes, shake your head, no. Or if stillness is calling to you, that is what happiness means for you right here, right now. That's perfectly fine. We're just identifying each one of our bodies, each one of our muscles, each one of our cells in this moment. Once you feel balanced, once you've arrived into this shape, let those hands come underneath your shoulders, knees directly underneath your hips. Now puffing up through the back of the heart space a little bit here. We're not sinking into our shoulders. We're not curling through our spine quite yet. Arriving just in the sensation of strength here in this tabletop position. And now connecting that sensation of strength with breath. As you inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. As you exhale, coil it in, press the mat away, really pulling that belly button up to spine. Inhale, fill up completely. Use the sensation of curving through the back of the heart space to really open up through those lungs, creating space to take one more little sip in. Gaze goes high. Exhale, press it away. We've got one more. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. Moving with intention, with sweetness, with purpose. Exhale, press it away. Gaze goes towards that navel. Now on your next inhale, come back through that neutral tabletop, allowing yourself to arrive in strength. And then walk those palms forward, palm width distance. Step those toes back, finding our first official plank pose. We're only here for a count of 3. So early on, feel the power, feel the strength. And here is my challenge for you with this intention today, because it is so open-ended. Every time your gaze falls towards your mat, you find this gaze in tabletop, in plank. Find one of those things that brings you joy and give it a smile. Big inhale, breath, fill up with all that sweetness, with all that joy. And then as you exhale with control, make your way to your mat on your belly, traveling through knees or through plank. Elbows graze those ribs. Tops your toes press down into the mat. Hands only have about 20% of our weight. Inhale, press in with those toes. Engage those low spines. Pull that heart up and through, cobra pose. Exhale, release, forehead to mat. Oh, there's the mat. Find something happy. 2 more. Inhale, pull that heart up and through. That sentence just brought me joy. It gave me a smile. Exhale, release, finding your mat, finding your joy, finding that happiness. We got one more. Inhale, pull that heart up and through. Exhale, release, forehead to mat, finding that sensation of joy. Curl those toes under, hands come back underneath those shoulders, and then on an inhale with strength, press it up through plank or tabletop, and let those hips pull high and back, downward facing dog. First time here, find some flashy movements. Arrive in this shape, even though it's the shape we make in almost every single class. Every single time we're here, it's different. So just find that sensation, find what it means to you here today. Maybe that's a big bend in your knees. Maybe that's heels really high. Maybe that's heart really soft. Whatever it is, it's perfect. So finding stillness now, pulling that strength in as we begin to connect breath with body. Inhale, feel those breaths travel towards somewhere that needs it. Shoulders, hips, hamstrings, mind, heart, whatever it is. And then use that exhale, soften into the space. On your inhale breath, we're gonna look at that space between our thumbs and we're gonna roll forward into our plank pose. And then we're gonna drop down to our knees, tabletop position, connecting breath with body movement. Inhale, right hand releases long out in front of you. Stay for your exhale. Inhale, kick that left leg back. Stay for your exhale. Find your balance. Find that connection with left hand, right knee. Inhale, reach through both elevated limbs. And then exhale, coil it in, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach it out. Forgot the reminder here. Exhale, there's that mat. Coil it in. Find the joy, find the happiness. Maybe it's the joy and strength here. Inhale, reach. One more on this side. Exhale, coil it in. Inhale, reach it out. And then as you exhale, hands and knees come down to the mat. On an inhale breath, step it back. Find that plank pose. There's the mat. Feel a smile. And then as you exhale, make your way all the way to the mat. We've only got one reset cobra here, so take your time, enjoy it. Inhale breath, push into your toes. Low spine, pull that heart up and through. Exhale, release. Hello, Matt. Inhale, breath, press it up through plank or tabletop. Hips lift high and back. Downward facing dog. Finding our transition into our second side. Inhale, activate, feel those hips lift high. Exhale, roll it forward into our plank pose. Inhale, empower here. Exhale, drop down to that tabletop. Inhale, breath. Release that left hand long. Reach it out. Stay through your exhale. Inhale, kick that right leg back. Stay through your exhale. Finding this mat this whole time. Find a focus. Find a joy. Find happiness. Inhale, reach. Exhale, coil it in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, coil. We got one more. Inhale, reach it out. Finding our mat this whole time. Finding that joy, that happiness, those opportunities to smile. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands and knees come down to the mat. Walk those palms forward, step it back, plank pose. Exhale with control through plank or tabletop. Make your way to your mat, elbows graze those ribs. Top of your toes, press in first and foremost. Inhale, breath, cobra pose. Exhale, find the mat. Inhale, breath, press it up through plank or tabletop, hips high and back. Sometimes too, finding those happy moments, finding that joy is just a matter of fake it until you make it. So it's really hard to smile and not feel a little bubble of joy. So even if you're having a hard time thinking of something, just give yourself a smile. The ability to smile is something to be happy about. Inhale, breath, let that right leg release high to the sky, reach it tall. As you exhale, pull that knee to belly, then to chest. We're looking at our right thumb. We're staying high on our back leg, really press in with those back toes. Also, opportunity for a jar or a yoga mat, block if you have it. If not, just using your fingertips is perfectly fine too. We're gonna open up through our heart space and our hamstrings. Inhale, breath, press into those left toes, shine that heart high, kind of like cow pose. And then as you exhale, press into your fingertips, press into those props, press into the block. As you straighten that front leg, any amount, gaze goes towards your belly button. Twice more like that. Inhale, shine that heart. We're getting into our back hip flexor just as much. Exhale, let that front hamstring take over, finding that open sensation. Sensation, that's another thing to find joy about. Inhale, shine that heart. The ability to feel the fact that we have a body, that's a pretty cool thing. Exhale, find any amount of straightening through that front leg. Inhale, come back through neutral low lunge. Hands press down into the mat. Step it back into our plank pose. And then as you exhale, take your time. Elbows graze those ribs, come all the way to belly. Toes press in, there's that mat. Inhale, smile it up and through cobra pose. Exhale, release. On your inhale breath, press it up, plank or tabletop. Hips lift high and back. Downward facing dog, reset breath here, moving into second side. Breathe into the space of sensation. Exhale into the space of softness. Inhale, that left leg reaches tall to the sky, reach it high. Taking your time, pulling that knee to belly, that knee to chest, looking at that left thumb, gently step it through. Again, really pressing through those right toes this time. Opportunity for your props again. Inhale, pull that heart up and through. Feel that back hip flexor. Exhale, straighten any amount through that front leg as you coil it up. Inhale, surfing with your breath, moving with intention here. Pull that heart up and through. Exhale, any amount, keeping those hips on straight while you straighten through that front leg. We got one more. Inhale. Exhale, soften. There's that mat. Find that smile, find that joy. Inhale, breath. Coming back to neutral low lunge, hands press into the mat. Step it back, plank pose. Find your joy, find that reminder. Exhale, come all the way to belly. Inhale, breath, letting that heart travel up and through. Cobra pose. Exhale, release. As you inhale, pressing it up, plank or tabletop, hips lift high and back, downward facing dog. Reset breath here. Breathe into the space that you need a reminder to send joy to. Exhale, share it with the world. On your inhale breath, right leg releases high to the sky, reaches tall. We've got a big fun movement coming up here, so find the joy in it. As you exhale, pull that knee to belly, knee to chest. Yet again, we're looking at that right thumb. We're really anchoring down through our hands, opportunity for props here as well. And then on an inhale breath, find that right foot and kick that left foot high, coming into our standing splits. Inhale, reach up through that left leg, just like we did in pointer dog. And then as you exhale, deep bend into both knees, coil it in, curl into a tiny little ball, Jiva squat. We got 2 more like that. Inhale, kick it tall, standing splits, reach it through. Exhale, coil it in. 1 more, inhale, kick it tall, standing splits. Exhale, coil. Inhale, kick it tall, standing splits. As you exhale, soft landing back behind you, arriving in our low lunge. Inhale, step it back, plank pose. And then with control, make your way to your belly. Tuck your toes, press in. Inhale, breath, pull that heart up and through. Intentionally planned a lot of looking at our mat to open up here. So finding those smiles. Inhale, press it up, plank or tabletop. Hips lift high and back. Downward facing dog. Reset breath. You know where we're going, second side. Last little breath to movement opportunity coming up here. So enjoy it. Inhale, that left leg breathe high to the sky, reach it tall. Exhale, knee to belly, knee to chest, looking at that left thumb, gently step it through. Finding either those props or fingers on the mat, big movement coming up here. Bend into that right knee and then kick it tall, standing split, second side. Inhale, reach high through those toes. Exhale, deep bend into both knees, clasping that back knee with the front, Jiva squat. Inhale, kick it tall. Exhale, coil it in. Find that joy, find that smile, find that happiness. We got 1 more. Inhale, kick it tall. Exhale, coil. Inhale, kick it tall. Exhale, soft landing, back behind you. On an inhale breath, step it back into your plank pose, finding that mat, finding that joy, finding that smile. And then with control, come all the way to belly. On your inhale breath, pull that heart up and through, cobra pose. Exhale, release. Inhale, press it up, plank or tabletop, hips lift high and back. Downward facing dog. We've got 3 to 5 breaths here. So finding the stillness, opportunity to find tabletop or child's pose as well. Finding the joy, feeling the sensation in your body after moving breath with movement, building from the mat up, all the while feeling that happiness, feeling that joy, finding those opportunities to tap in, to feel the sensation in our body and also feel that joy. Pretty powerful superpower we have here. Ability to tap into our brains and tap into our sensation and convince ourselves that it's all good. 1 more breath here. Inhale. And then as you exhale, soften. If you're not there already, on an inhale breath, meet me in our tabletop pose just to reset. And then either curl over those ankles or sweep those feet out to the side. We're making our way into our seat. As we travel onto our back, inhale, pull that heart up and through. As you exhale, let each vertebrae press down into the mat one by one. And then find a reset. Really intentionally press every single vertebrae down into the mat. This might mean shortening the distance between your hip bones and your ribs to find that really deep connection. And then on an inhale breath, we're going to find reverse tabletop. So we're pretending like the ceiling is our floor now. So our shins are perpendicular with the sky, with the ceiling. And we're going to take our left hand and we're going to press it into our right knee. So we're crossing our body, left hand to right knee, and then take our right hand to left knee. So basically crisscrossing our bodies, focusing on which one's on top first. So inhale, press your knees into your hands, press your hands into your knees. So equal and opposite pressure here. You should feel that core kick in. Make sure you're not letting that low spine pop up. Really press those vertebrae down into the mat. And then on an inhale breath, right hand and left leg extend, just like pointer dog. Exhale, tap. Keep that left hand pressing into that right knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tap. Inhale, so we're pressing while we're expanding. Exhale, tap. Use your breath connection here. Inhale, expand. Feel every vertebrae press down into the mat. Exhale, tap. Keep it going. We're about halfway. Inhale, feel those vertebrae press in. We've got 4. Last 3. This is kicking up the heat for me. I'm finding my smile. Fake it till you make it, right? Last 2. 1, extend it out. Exhale, bring it in. Find either a happy baby, maybe some hip circles, just a little mini reset. As we work into second side, coil through those ankles, whatever you need to do, maybe windshield wipers as well. Your feet can return to the mat. I know it's a lot on our hip flexors, but really focusing in on those cores. All right, once you're ready, find that reverse tabletop yet again, shins perpendicular with the ceiling. Press every single vertebrae down into the mat. Shorten the distance between those hip flexors and those ribs. So we're working on opposite side now. So let's take our right hand, press it into our left knee. Feel those obliques already kick on. Feel that core. Inhale, find that left hand to right knee, crisscrossing over. So really pressing in here. Feel that connection. Feel that core already kick in. Now don't lose that connection. Right hand to left knee. Inhale, release that left hand long, right leg long. Exhale, tap. Inhale, release. Exhale, tap. Continue to press that right hand in, left knee in. Exhale, tap. Don't let that low spine pop up off the mat. Keep it connected. Keep it pressing as we expand every single vertebrae. Feeling that breath. Moving with slow intention. Move through honey here. We're halfway. Keep that connection. Press into that left knee. We've got 3. Last 2. And on 1, breathe it out. Tap it in. All right, go ahead, grab those knees towards opposite armpits. Give yourself a nice little roll side to side. Maybe some nice gentle circles in one direction and then go another direction as well. Now bring those knees close together. Give yourself a tight squeeze here. And then begin to rock and roll up and down the length of your spine, gaining momentum, finding connection with every vertebrae, then cross over those ankles. Press into the mat. Oh, there's the mat. Give yourself a smile. Find that joy. Find the joy and the power, the connection with that beautiful core work we just did. And then as you exhale, make your way all the way to the belly. You can feel that core kick in as we use that plank pose. Tops of your toes press in. Inhale, breath, extended cobra pose. Take a couple breaths here. Stretching out those obliques, stretching out that core, feeling the joy again and sensation. As you exhale, gently release. On your inhale breath, press it up, plank or tabletop, hips lift high and back, downward facing dog. 3 reactivating breaths here. 3 powerful, connecting, joyful sensation breaths. As you inhale, pressing into those fingertips a little bit more, hips lift a little bit higher. As you exhale, melt through that heart. 1 more. Find the stillness, find the power, find the joy, find what you need. And then as you exhale, soften into that space. On your inhale breath, right leg lifts high to the sky, reach it tall, toes reaching tall. And then as you exhale, pull that knee into your belly, using that core we just activated into chest. This time we're looking right in between our thumbs, gently step it through. Back heel drops down to the mat. Inhale breath, pull that arm up and around. As you exhale, we're gonna land into our warrior 2 pose. We're here for a bit, so find the power. As you inhale, press your toes away, fingertips reach away. As you exhale, settle into that stillness. Feeling the power, feeling the control here. Finding those inner legs just as much as we're finding our fingers and our toes. 1 more big breath. Go to your depth on that exhale, maybe a little lower in that front knee. Inhale, breath. Let's lift that front palm. Straighten through that front knee. Inhale into our reverse triangle. Opening up through that side body. So reaching through those top pinkies, pressing down into those toes. Inhale, breathe into that side body. And then as you exhale, tee out those arms. Go ahead and heel toe that back foot in a little bit, just to give your hips some room. So your hips are gonna shoot out towards the left as your right hand reaches forward. Reach, reach, reach. And then tick-tock those hands to 6 and 12 o'clock. Now imagine that you are in between 2 panes of glass here. Everything is still open, breathable, available to you, but you really are finding that connection with both front and back side of your body. 1 line of energy, 1 line of action. You can look up towards your top hand or down towards the source of joy, finding that space on our mat, giving yourself the opportunity to feel that connection here, stacking shoulders over shoulders, hips over hips, pressing into our toes to feel that connection. 1 more big breath here. Use that exhale, soften somewhere you need to. It might be your mind. And then on your inhale breath, that top hand pulls you tall, all the way up into a 5-pointed star. Toes are going to be parallel with the sides of our mat, pointing forward. Breathe it high, fill up. And then as you exhale, hands come down to heart center. Deep bend into that left knee. As you send your booty back, we lean it forward, opening up through our side legs here, opening up through our sensation. Also opportunity to come down to fingers or to come down to a block. We're here for a couple breaths. So finding this opportunity to send those inhales to where you need them. Maybe it's that inner thigh. Maybe it's that outer IT band. Maybe it's our hip flexor on the left side. Wherever you are, find that breath, send it there. Also, I can see a bit of my mat in my peripheral. So finding that smile, finding that joy. We have 1 more breath here. Maybe sit a little bit lower, press into that right leg a little bit more. Inhale, come up through midline. We've just got a little reset here, not quite as long. Deep bend into that right knee, just to give that left leg a little release. Inhale through mid. Exhale, forward fold, prasarita. Recognize the difference in sides here. We've worked one side, not the other. So give yourself permission to check in here. And then on an inhale breath, sweep those hands up and around, stand it tall, 5-pointed star. Exhale, cartwheel it down towards the top of your mat. Inhale, step it back, plank pose. And then exhale with control, all the way to belly. Find your smile. Opportunity for joy here. Tuck your toes, press in first, then low spine. Inhale, pull that heart up and through. Exhale, release. There's the mat. Inhale, press it up through plank or tabletop, hips high and back. Downward facing dog. Reset breath here. Breathe high into those hips. Breathe into that heart, the back of the heart space. Use that exhale, soften. Find a release, whatever it is you need. Inhale, breath, left leg reaches high to the sky. Reach it tall. With control, with ease, with flow, intentional movements. Knee to belly, knee to chest. Looking at that space right between your hands. Gently step it through. Back heel gets heavy. Inhale, sweep it up and around. Exhale, sit it low. Making your way into warrior two on this side. Again, finding the power in the stillness here. As we inhale, we reach our fingertips away, toes press away. As you exhale, sit it lower. Curl those inner thighs in towards each other. Feel those shoulder blades activate as they melt down the back. Inhale, crown reaches tall. And then find that depth as you exhale. Inhale, breath, flip that front palm. Straighten through that front leg, reverse warrior. Again, finding the opportunity for joy here. Breathing into those side bodies, that little bit of release in that left leg. Whatever it is you need, find a smile, open up into that ease. And then as you exhale, tee out those arms, reach it out in space, heel toe that back foot in a little bit, check it out with your hips. And then as you exhale, right hip goes back as we reach left hand forward. And then tick-tock those hands to 6 and 12 o'clock. Again, imagine yourself pressed in between two panes of glass here, stacking everything on top of each other, really finding this opportunity to open up in vertical space. Gaze can go high or it can go low, finding that source of joy, finding that smile, finding that ease. Whatever it is you need, opportunity to find it here. One more big breath, softening everything on that exhale. Inhale, breath, that top hand pulls you tall. 5-pointed star, toes parallel to the sides of our mat, both pointing forward. And then as you exhale, hands to heart center, deep bend into that right knee. Send that booty back for balance as you find that opportunity to open up. Permission to find your block if you need to. That's just an opportunity to have the earth be about 6 inches closer or even 8 inches closer. You can find the tall variation. You can use fingertips resting on the earth or hands at heart center. That test balance a little bit. But either way, we're looking down at the earth. We're looking down at our mat. Find your smile. Breathe into the space you need it. Maybe it's that inner side of our legs. Maybe it's that IT band, the glutes, the heart, the head. Just finding that stillness here. We got one more breath. As you exhale, maybe find a little bit more depth on that right leg. Press into the outside edge of that left. Inhale, come up through mid, little reset. Exhale, deep bend into that left knee just to give that right leg a little bit of release. Inhale, come up through midline. Exhale, Prasarita. Head gets heavy. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Even an opportunity to take a gentle clasp behind your head to really release through that neck. Pressing into the outer edge of both your toes. You got one more breath. Use that exhale, let everything go. On your inhale breath, sweep those arms up and around, all the way into our 5-pointed star. As you exhale, cartwheel it down towards the top of your mat. Inhale, step it back, plank pose. Exhale with control. Make your way all the way to your belly. Inhale, breath. Pull that heart up and through. Exhale, release. Inhale, press it high, hips lift high and back. Downward facing dog. So we've connected breath with body, we've connected with our core, and now we've just connected with strength. We're going to find a little bit of balance before we find the opportunity to find joy in the dance, to find joy in the flow, to find joy in the yoga we need. On your inhale breath, let that right leg lift high to the sky, reach it tall. Again, coming into power, use your breath to find that. Use that view at the mat to find the joy. Knee to belly, knee to chest. We're looking at our right thumb this time. We're staying high on our back toes, really pressing into those left toes as we press down into that right foot. Inhale, sweep those hands tall. First time in Crescent Lunge, but we've built the muscles to do so. If you need to heel toe that front foot out a little bit wider, go ahead, finding that balance. Inhale, reach high with those fingertips. Exhale, melt that heart, reach those fingertips back. Squeeze those shoulder blades on the back side of the body. Inhale, reach it tall. Exhale, airplane variation. Lead with that heart, squeeze it. Inhale, sweep those hands tall. Opportunity here. You can find another airplane variation. Or if you would like to test your joy by flying a little bit, as you exhale, hop that back foot up in space and then squeeze those arms behind you, full airplane. Heart remains over our hips. We feel like we're an airplane taking off in space. Use your power, use your control. We're either holding airplane variation or full airplane for 3. Give yourself a smile. You're looking at the ground. For 2, 1 more. Release, full up. Find that heart space, find that joy, find the sensation. As you exhale, soft landing back into our Crescent Lunge. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Inhale, step it back, plank pose. This time, just lift those hips high and back, downward facing dog. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. We're moving into second side. Feel the difference in that right leg versus the left. Feel the power, feel that connection, that sensation. Inhale, left leg reaches high to the sky, reach it tall. As you exhale, knee to belly, knee to chest, looking at that left thumb, gently step it through. And then pressing into those back toes, setting up here. Inhale, breathe it tall, Crescent Lunge. First time here, find that balance, find that power. Reach tall through those fingertips. Exhale, airplane flow, reaching it back. Feel those shoulder blades engage. Really intentional here. Nothing is flopping in space. We're keeping our body in our joy, in our sensation. Inhale, sweep it tall. Crescent Lunge. Exhale, reach with that heart space. Opportunity here. Inhale, reach it tall, Crescent Lunge. Full airplane or airplane variation, wherever you are. As you exhale, find your smile and then enter into whichever variation you're finding. Stay present with every movement. Find that point of focus of concentration, squeezing with our muscles, finding that power, finding the balance, finding our breath. We're already at our last 3, 2, on 1, soft landing, Crescent Lunge. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Inhale, step it back, plank pose, hips lift high and back. We've got 3 breaths, reset. You can also find tabletop if that's what's calling to you. And then finding the gaze at the mat, finding our smile, our joy, our sensation. Every shape we are making moving forward, we have made. We're going to find a little bit of everything here. We're going to find joy through our breath to body connection. We're going to find joy through flow, through power, and through balance. Just putting it all together, showing how powerful we really are in this hour, in this space. On your inhale breath, right leg lifts high to the sky. As you exhale, knee to belly, knee to chest, looking at that space right between your thumbs. Gently step it through. Back heel gets heavy. Inhale, sweep it up and open. Exhale, sit it low, warrior two. Inhale, flip that front palm, straighten through that front leg, reverse triangle. Exhale, tee out those arms, heel toe that back foot in. Inhale, reach through those fingertips. Exhale, let those hands go to 6 and 12. One breath here. Inhale, reach tall through that upper hand. Exhale, gaze down at your toes. Find your smile. Inhale, hands pull you tall. 5-pointed star, toes parallel with the sides of our mat, both touching forward. Exhale, sit low into that left leg, hands at heart center. Inhale, up through midline. You can use your hands to flow if you need. Exhale, deep bend in that right leg. Inhale, come up through mid. Exhale, forward fold, prasarita. Just a breath here, let it go. Let everything reset. Next inhale, breath. Make your way, 5-pointed star. Exhale, cartwheel it down towards the top of your mat. Inhale, step it back, plank pose. Finding that mat, finding that smile, finding that joy. Exhale, come all the way to belly. Tuck your toes, press in. Inhale, breath, pull that heart up and through, cobra pose. Exhale, release. Inhale, press it up, plank or tabletop. Hips lift high and back. Downward facing dog. Reset breath here. Enjoying this sensation. Enjoying this opportunity. Use that exhale to soften. Inhale, left leg breathe high to the sky. Reach it tall. Exhale, knee to belly. Knee to chest. Looking right in between our thumbs. Gently step it through. Back heel gets heavy. Inhale, cartwheel it up and open. Exhale, land into that warrior two. Sit it low. Inhale, flip that front palm. Reverse triangle, straighten through that front leg. Feel that expansion. Exhale, tee out those arms. Heel toe that back foot in a couple inches. Inhale, activate through those arms. Reach it out. Exhale, left hand forward, right hip back. Tick-tock those arms. As you exhale, triangle pose. One breath here. Inhale, reach it tall with that upper hand. Feel the expansion. Exhale, look down at your joy. Give yourself a smile. Inhale, top hand pulls you up and around. 5-pointed star. Parallel feet, toes point forward. Exhale, deep bend into that right knee. Sit that booty back. Skandasana, gate flow. Inhale through midline. Exhale, deep bend into that left. Inhale, come through mid. Exhale, forward fold, prasarita. We got one breath here. Inhale into the space that you need it. Hips, heart, mind, body, soul, whatever it is, use that exhale to soften. On your inhale breath, you gather all that energy, sweep it up and around, 5-pointed star. Exhale, cartwheel it down towards the top of your mat. On your inhale breath, little change, step it forward, forward fold. Take some time here, maybe pedal out those feet, wag those tails, shake your head yes, shake your head no. On your inhale breath, find your halfway lift. Press into your shins, crown reaches forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, use that sensation as we stand it tall, all the way up into mountain pose. Tapping into that power, tapping into that ease. On our inhale breath, we're gonna pull our right knee up in line with right hip. So anchoring in with that left knee, just like we did in full airplane, reach those fingertips tall. And then as you exhale, pull that belly in, kick that right foot back as we lean forward. This time, try and find your heart in line with your hips. Opportunity to clasp those hands if you need, or opportunity to find hands at hips. Wherever you are, Try and hang on. For 3. Give yourself a smile. I see my mat. For 2. Enjoy, empower in breath and body. For 1. Inhale, reach those hands tall. Pull that knee up and in. Woo, balance. Exhale, come down to heart center. Release that leg. Allow yourself the opportunity to smile. Release whatever sensation is bubbling up, whatever thoughts are bubbling up. As you begin to grow roots down into those right toes, getting ready to lift that left knee up in space. Inhale, reach those fingertips tall. Activate through that left knee in line with that left hip. Reach it tall. And then as you exhale, we're just kicking in, talking it back. Pressing that left leg back in space. Right fingertips, left fingertips reaching forward. Finding heart in line with hips. Fingertips reaching forward. Clasping those hands together or hands at hips. Wherever your balance lies, wherever your joy falls. Give yourself 3. Don't rush this. Don't try and escape. For 2. If you fall out, just come back in. For 1. Inhale, breath, pull that knee back up and through. Fingertips release high to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Go ahead, wiggle, wobble it out. Releasing that sensation. Releasing whatever you need. Inhale, sweep those hands tall. Mountain pose. Exhale, swan dive it. Find your forward fold. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. Inhale, press into those shins. Find that halfway lift. Resetting that spine. Little extended posture here. Feeling that length, that traction as we press into our shins. Feel like a ribbon is pulling the crown of your head nice and tall. And then exhale, melt into that forward fold. Maybe heel toe your feet out a little bit wider to create space in between our legs. Take a little bend in your knees. Maybe some soft sways side to side, or full-blown ragdoll by clasping opposite elbows and letting your whole torso just fall nice and heavy. Taking 2 to 3 more breaths here. Gentle movements, stillness, extended holds, whatever it is that brings you joy. Permission to find it right here, right now, in this space. And then once you feel balanced, let those hands come back down to the mat. Heel toe those feet all the way in until your toes touch sliver space in between your heels. Using your hands as balance or maybe even press. Curl in. Find a tiny, tight little ball. Just like we did with closed leg, child's pose, or Jiva squats. Give yourself a tight squeeze here. Gaze comes in towards your own space. Feeling that space between your shoulder blades expand as you take a big inhale breath in, fill up those lungs. And then as you exhale, soft landing onto our seat. Giving yourself an opportunity here to reconnect, pull that heart up and through space. And then as you exhale, melt down vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all the way onto our backs. Once you're there, really connect with space, shorten that distance between your hips and your ribs, pressing your vertebrae down into the mat, feeling that connection with gravity. And then as you inhale, let those toes go long, fingertips reach up overhead. Big deep breath in. Just recognize how our body works together. Our sensation, the shape with gravity has a little bit of a different sensation. Melt into that gravity as you exhale. And then inhale, that right knee up in space, clasping right below that knee, giving yourself a tight squeeze here. Really finding compression through that quad, pressing into your belly. As you inhale, you feel a little bit of massage. As you exhale, you soften. Now move that leg out of the way of your rib, pulling it up in towards your right armpit. feeling the availability in that hip flexor, really squeezing it up and in. And then as you exhale, let that left hand guide it over towards the left as right hand falls out in space. Final supine twist. If you gaze over towards that right thumb, you can see your mat out of your peripheral. So give yourself an opportunity to soften into the sensation of happiness. Finding the joy in the little things. Even if you just have to remind yourself by smiling. Pretty powerful sensation. Pretty powerful superpower to hack whatever our body is experiencing and give it that little dopamine hit of joy by just rising the corners of our lips. Got one more big breath here. Use that exhale. As you inhale, gently come back through midline. Right knee gets one more squeeze to itself. And then swap it out with the left. Right leg goes nice and heavy. Left knee comes up and stay. Inhale, squeeze it in. Tight, tight squeeze here. Really feeling compression with our left quad into our left low belly. Transverse colon, little internal massage, helping with digestion. And then as you inhale, move it out of the way of the rib cage, even tighter compression, pulling it up and in towards that left armpit. And then with ease, with slowness, with grace, let that right hand guide that left knee over towards the right. Left hand goes long, gazing at our thumb with peripherals. You see our mat there. Give yourself a smile. Feeling the joy in the spinal supine twist. The sensation throughout our body. Little final rinse. Joy that we're in this portion of class. That gravity is the only force required on our shape right now. Whatever it is, give yourself a smile. We got one more breath here. Inhale into the point you need. Using gravity to soften. On your inhale breath, gently let that left knee come back into space. Give it one more squeeze to itself. And then bring that right knee up and in to meet left. Really giving yourself a tight, tight squeeze here. Also, opportunity to locate a blanket or a towel or your sweater if you would like to drape it over your midline here. Just permission to find it as we've generated heat as we enter into this space. Sometimes we tend to feel a little chilly. All right, now that we're set up, scrunch your toes, your feet, your calves, your shins. Find those hamstrings, those quads, the glutes, your low belly. Find your chest, your low, mid, and upper back. Scrunch your fingers, your forearms, your biceps, your triceps. Now get your shoulders and your neck involved, reaching up towards your knees. Now scrunch your face into the biggest smile you have had throughout class. And then as you exhale, soften. Release everything. Legs fall out long. Hands fall out in space. Intentionally release any shape you're holding in your feet or your hands. Let your calves, your shins, your quads, your hamstrings just float off in space. Glutes, low belly, chest, and shoulders are all fully supported by the earth, and just letting yourself ease into this. Releasing your arms heavy, biceps, triceps, shoulders. Everything is totally supported by gravity. Release any sensation you're holding in your neck, in your jaw. Let your tongue fall from the roof of your mouth. Let your face be soft. Relax your ears, your temples. And then finally, that space right between your eyebrows, that third eye center. Let your mind float off into Shavasana. Slowly begin to bring some awareness back into your space, back onto your mat, and back into that source of joy. Begin to gently reawaken that shape by wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, finding more energy with those inhales, more awareness with those exhales, and keeping your eyes closed or gaze soft as you have fully arrived back onto your mat. With an inhale, let those fingertips reach up overhead, finding a nice big full body stretch. Toes reach forward, fingertips reach high. And from this space, recognize right or left hand side, whichever side is calling to you. Use that bicep as a pillow as you pull your knees in towards chest and gently roll over into that side in space, giving yourself this final moment, this final beat, this final posture of reawakening, rebirth back into your day to really solidify that sensation of joy and permission to find those little moments of happiness, those little opportunities that allow you to smile and really feel it in. With soft gaze or eyes closed, gently make your way into a comfortable seated position towards the top of your mat. Once you're there, hands can press into heart center or come together at heart center and drop chin towards chest. Thanking self first and foremost for being here, for moving, for breathing, most importantly, for smiling throughout class. And then on an inhale breath, let those hands come up in between that third eye center, in between those eyebrows, lifting the chin towards the sky, in a sign of appreciation and awareness of the energy and effort we were able to share. Please know the inner teacher and light within me so appreciates and so recognizes the inner teacher and light within each of you. And one way to say this is to bow our heads and say, Namaste.